have an exciting game between lbDutchboy from Sector 1 facing off versus Vortex. And I just got word that some guy might have had his birthday yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. lbDutchboy had his birthday yesterday. He is 18 years old now. So he can finally drink. Feels good, man.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him, sort of, for surviving the natural selection for so long. And we're just going to wait until they get into the game. But, of course, what classes have they picked? Vortex has chosen for a priest, a rogue, a paladin, and his mage was banned, whereas lbDutchboy has taken with him a druid, warrior, rogue, and his paladin was banned. So we do see some, changes. Actually, the first priest of the evening.
Yeah, that being priest makes me think that the paladin is a control paladin as well. Where Arne was playing an aggressive line. Was he playing? No, he wasn't playing the aggressive lineup. So I guess since lbDutchboy and Arne are teammates, I think lbDutchboy might have a slower deck as well. However, we see here that lbDutchboy is playing Pirate Warrior, which is not a slow deck at all.
Well, if we looked at Mate playing it, it was indeed not slow at all. Just absolutely destroying Nara. And we actually heard of a bet that Mate will now have someone cook for him instead of having to make the whole Hearthstone scene pancakes.
Vortex has a very interesting deck. I like it a lot. It's the Silence Priest with Inner Fire and Divine Spirit and stuff. We've seen it last week as well, where Arne had a, what was it, 20-20 or 28-28 minion.
Yeah.
Pretty good. But this time we'll see it in the hands of Vortex. And can it win against the warrior of lbDutchboy? Well, as it looks right now, that's going to be tricky.
Yeah, he's probably going to go in for the Fiery Warriors just to kill the North Shire Clerk. That's a move that hasn't changed in, ages, because it was there from the start. And there we go. North Shire Clerk denied of any fancy
wow.
draws.
And that draw was so important. Like, if lbDutchboy decided to leave it alive, then Vortex had a really good turn. However, it's this as is now, it's not a really good turn. Shadow Madness, or Potion of Madness is what it's called, will clear these two minions and heal Vortex up in the meanwhile. Seems good.
And that way he equalizes a little bit. And lbDutchboy, in theory, one card down. But now there's the Frothing Berserker coming out. Will it stack up? That is the question, as the humongous Razor Leaf is being thrown out. Gets buffed to 10 health already, so it will be quite hard for lbDutchboy to deal with it.
So this is pretty funny. lbDutchboy wants to play the Spellbreaker here because he needs the tempo. However, he can't silence the 410. That would be ridiculous. And he can't really silence the Frothing, because then he silences his Frothing, which is also bad. So what can he do this turn? Like, should he just play double Heroic Strike and go for it? Like 11 damage to the face, put him on 16? He has Leroy and Mortal Strike in hand, so it wouldn't be that bad. On the other hand, he can also silence the Frothing, because the chance that his Frothing will be buffed is not too large. But you'd really need the silence if there's a
very huge minion.
No, it's like the Faceless Shambler. That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
So you need the silence, so you can't play it here. Decides to do nothing at all, just pass. Oh, that's a great draw.
Yes, there is the Purify. Gets a draw and silences 4/8, just so he can deal with it Frothing, which hasn't had too much impact. And with the Talon Priest, gets that humongous Razor Leaf even a bit bigger.
Even more humongous.
Yes. And we will wonder what lbDutchboy is going to throw out.
Yeah, it was a very bad... Well, it wasn't a bad start for lbDutchboy, but he didn't really get the follow-up. And I guess that's because he's playing the Spellbreaker. So that was a really dead card in his hand. I also rather have seen the double heroic strike last turn because you need to pressure him sometime. You can't just pass turns versus a control deck.
Yeah, I can still do it, but then he'll have a mana left, which isn't ideal. And with it is far from actually. Throws out his South Sea captain, which is sad for all the pirates he might have had. Buffs up his attack to 7, goes face, and brings Vortex down to 20 HP.
That's another pretty good draw.
How big can it get?
Pretty big. We already see the Divine Spirit, and there we go for the Inner Fire, and there it is. So that's the 22. Seems
By the
good.
way, that Shadow Visions, I had it against me. A guy had 3 of those Anguro packs from the Trailblazer because of it.
Yeah.
I was so salty.
Were you playing Jade Druid?
Yeah, of course. And that's the only deck I have. And there it goes to the 22, but it doesn't mean lbDutchboy is back in it again, as he has only 9 health left with 2 armor. And there's 9 damage on the board for Vortex. And there's
the second Inner Fire, and that's lethal for Vortex. So I like this deck a lot that Vortex is playing. You pointed out before the game that Shusi is actually ranked 9 legend at the moment, and this is the deck he's playing.
Then I can understand why he's so high.
I don't think he's Dutch.
Oh god. Yeah, but Shusi is number 9 and Vortex is number 109, so I think they're actually quite close together in the ladder, of course, as I know that there's at least more than 1,000 people that are Legenders have an 1145 in my list as well. But very convincing victory here from Vortex, taking the 1-0 lead. His priest is now out of the equation, which will bring some rest to lbDutchboy.
It was actually a pretty good draw by Vortex, having the Norsha and one forcing the coin War Ox into the Shadow Potion of Madness to deal with the 2 pirates, and just not giving the Pirate Warrior any tempo at all. And I still think that lbDutchboy might have had a chance if he just put the double heroic strike there, but he doesn't know what we know, of course. So, okay, next match we'll probably see. We will definitely see either the Rogue or the Paladin from Vortex. Well, we are not sure yet what lbDutchboy will be playing.
Yeah, they're leaving us wondering because they're still in the deck select, have just taken what they are going to play. And we'll see. It's the Paladin of Vortex versus the Rogue of lbDutchboy. So, which one will be victorious? How would you rate this matchup?
Tricky. Depends on the Paladin. If the Paladin's quick, like it's as it seems that Vortex Paladin is, then the Paladin is slightly favored. However, if the Paladin is slow, then the Rogue is slightly favored. Let's keep it at 50-50 for now. I see the 1/2 Murloc in the hand of Vortex, which is a quick card, but I also see the Curator, which insinuates that it's a rather slow deck.
Gets the Ream as well, so that's not really what he was hoping for, I guess.
This is also the Doomsayer deck, so I guess Arne and lbDutchboy switched out lists. Or well, I actually guessed that lbDutchboy is busy with his axioms and was like, well, Arne, what are you going to play? Yeah, these decks. Okay. And then decided to play the same decks.
It's a very smooth understanding. Okay.
But it happens more often.
What would he throw out here is the first Doomsayer just to put some pressure on and prevent Vortex from building a big board, as there's pretty much nothing he can do to clear. So he will go face with the 1/2. And unfortunately for him, we'll have to say goodbye to it after.
Of course, this is very good for lbDutchboy, because unlike last time, where Arne's Doomsayer got cleared, lbDutchboy is now slightly ahead. However, he doesn't have any bounces, so that's bad, for lack of a better word.
And there is the second tide caller probably coming out. Would you then coin the war leader as well, or would you
Yeah, I
keep
definitely
those?
coin the war leader. You have to pressure him, and you have the follow up with the 4-mana gentle Megazord as well. So this is a good board. It's
Oh,
tough
but the
to deal
South
with.
Sea deckhand double with
It's
8
such a
patches
shame
coming
that you
out
don't
as
have
well.
any bounces.
No, but still, it can deal with the board of Vortex a bit as well, right?
Yeah, you can
Because you
just
can
clear
get
the
the
board.
patches, so with one deckhand you can clear 1 minion, and then with your weapon in the second you can clear as well. And that's if you decide to throw in the Firefly.
Yeah, you can just play double South Sea and trade the minions away. Seems good.
And it also feels good, man, for lbDutchboy.
Definitely.
Getting 3 big Murlocs out of the equation so early on, and rendering those 2 gentle Megazords in the hand of Vortex slightly useless.
Oh, it's still a 5/4 for 4 mana. It's not bad. It's just less good.
Indeed. The real value just got deleted. Now lbDutchboy is wondering, should I throw out my second South Sea deckhand or shouldn't I? So far he's roping away what to do.
Decides to play a second South Sea deckhand and weapon up again to just stay on board for a bit. You don't really want to bounce your South Sea deckhand anyway because you can't trade with it. Yeah, just play Gentle Megazord here. lbDutchboy really needs some card draw or bounce here. Like either Brewmaster or a... Oh, that's just a bit too late. It's such a great card as well. That's such a shame. And now lbDutchboy can't really do anything. Like, I think he'll
Still
just
no
weapon
bounce.
up pass. And that's very painful for him.
Yeah,
Here we
the
will
means
see
to
this
deal.
beating Coda.
He had the means to deal with whatever Vortex threw out until this point. So he still elects what he wants to have. The bounces to get closer and closer to the quest.
And
There he gets the
again,
second
no
Firefly.
bounce. And no draw. Like, he needs a Mimic Pot. He needs a Novice Engineer. But he doesn't get any of them. Even Vanish is good at this moment.
Yep, and he is considering throwing out one of his flame elementals just to see how he can stack up that quest a little bit. So far, just gonna refresh his weapon again. It's actually seemingly going downhill right now.
He can get some Hungry Crab value this time, but it's too late. Too little too late, to be honest. You can win this game easily if you get the Hungry Crab at the beginning and then just get value trades. But as it is now, he just doesn't have anything, and he can't get to his quest in time.
There's actually the second Megazord coming out. Will, of course, buff up that Hydrologist, but it will get beaten by the crab of lbDutchboy.
Yeah, as I said, 4 mana 5/4s are still pretty good.
Yeah, especially if there's not really anything lbDutchboy has on the board to deal with it, or in his hand, rather. Is there anything lbDutchboy can now draw within the next 2 turns to actually get back, or
Mimic Pot
Mimic Pot
into bounce or something? That's the only thing I can think of at this moment. Like Mimic Pot into bounce or card draw into bounce. But he needs something to start the chain. And if he doesn't get that, then it looks very bad for him. So this is a pretty good turn for Vortex. He's like, okay, I've got 13 damage on board, but I also need to deal with the Doomsayer. I won't equality because that would be stupid of me.
That would be suicide in a sense.
Yeah, kinda.
And of course he can't use that Tareem. Well, he can, but I don't think it's really favorable in this position as he has 2 5/4s, as you've just said before.
He decides just to go wide on board and probably kill the crab.
No, actually isn't.
Okay. It's like, okay, if you can bounce the crab, then I Yeah, you kill my Murlocs, but so what? You still can't deal with my 5/4s. And here's the bounce.
Yeah, but would you bounce the crab or would you bounce elementals?
You'll definitely bounce the crab, I think.
Well, like you already have a second elemental in hand as well, so you're closer to that with your quest, but you
Yeah,
have
but
to
you're
deal
also
with the
pretty
board.
close to dying.
Yeah. You have to deal with the board, otherwise you're bummed anyway. And he actually has to trade in his crab to stay alive, as there is quite some damage on board from Vortex. He's probably hoping he'll top deck a true silver champion.
Yeah, there's not much that lbDutchboy can do here.
Yeah, he can
I don't
trade
blame
with
him.
his
He
weapon
just
into the 1/1, then 3/4 into the Stampeding Kodo, Shadow Step, and eat the 1/3.
and then he's still alive. But
Yeah.
is he though? No, he's not. The Sunkeeper Terrain will finish him off
Oh yeah, of course.
because he can go face with the 5/4s and then buff the other 2 minions afterwards.
Indeed, and that means the 2-0 actually. I almost said 2-1, but that was actually going to be a mistake. And there we see Vortex just everything coming
He
together
sees
for
the
him
lethal.
so far.
Oh, not as much coming together for him as well. Not coming together for lbDutchboy. Like, this deck is pretty famous for its consistency, but if you don't draw any card draw or any bounce at all, then yeah, you lose.
It's like how I would play it most likely, because I never get what I want, especially when I'm battling you. It doesn't work out, and it does mean that Vortex is hoping that he has more luck with the rogue than lbDutchboy has.
Yeah, definitely hoping for that. Yeah, that's a warrior. That's the pirate warrior we've seen, and there's the quest rogue for Vortex. He has 3 chances to win. I don't think he can easily win versus this deck, but he's already off to a better start than lbDutchboy.
Indeed, and this week has been off to a great start, as the matches are actually taking roughly a quarter of the time that they did last week, and this is.
Well, if you hate Hearthstone so much, why are you still casting?
No, I don't hate it. It's just like those matches were so long. I would prefer like a somewhat more mixed meta where you have some games that take long, where you have to think a lot, and some where it just goes more like this, just with a wee bit of BM, just to put it in there.
Yeah, I guess you play the upgrade here because then you play the Bloodsail Raiders, follow a buff it, and then you can buff your weapon with the Bloodsail Cultist. Vortex, however, has a very good draw. Like, he has 2 of the Charged Pirates in hand and a Shadow Step as well, so that's like 3 already for his quest. Oh, that's a great pickup. This looks pretty bad, I must say, for Vortex, even with a good start like this. This is going to be a race against the clock for sure for him. Quite literally.
Next turn, would you throw up the South Sea Captain just to get a lot of pressure instead of the cultist, as you said earlier?
It really depends on what Vortex is going to do here. If he just weapons up and kills a 1/1, then I would play the Bloodsail Cultist. However, if he plays the South Sea, if he plays like coin Igneous Elemental, then I would play the South Sea Captain.
He actually coins for the South
He
Sea
goes for
deckhand.
the full clear. That's interesting. That's very good as well. Like, it's such a smart play.
Yeah, and of course he still has the Shadow Step and another deckhand if he chooses to get a quest with that minion. So far, won't really do that. And now another option. Frothing Berserker, Cultist.
Okay, so you were kind of 100% sure that he had the Bloodsail Cultist in hand, because else you wouldn't have played the upgrade at turn 1. So that's why he made sure to kill both minions.
Yeah, now the Frothing is probably the best option, as it will only increase, and you can still upgrade your weapon now if you decide to, but then it will be a 2-2. Oh, and actually, you can also make it a 2-1.
You just go face here, I think, because you don't really want to kill the 2/3.
Yeah, and it'll
just
your
spawn
frothing.
more. Yeah, it'll just spawn more of those flame guys, and you don't want that.
Yeah, and it brings your frothing within a dangerously close range of dying.
Oh, there's the second shadow step.
So that actually means that he can get his quest this turn and start possibly destroying lbDutchboy after, but he goes for the Swashbuckler first. Always draw first.
Gorhal, not the best card. He would have rather had a shield block, I think.
Yeah, probably, but still, it's something. It's something to clear with if you want to. It's not like you're running any better weapons. But it's such an expensive card as well.
I think Vortex is going to use the charger to clear the frothing.
Yes, he most certainly will. And then he's banking on the elementals to bring him to his quest.
Which they definitely will, but the important thing here is that Vortex is still on 22 HP, and even though he's on 12 HP now, so it's getting rather close, he has his quest this turn. Right? Does he? No, he doesn't.
No, he has too little mana.
Yeah.
As he has to throw one elemental from hand. So that's unfortunate, but he can throw them up and get a bit of board, so that is fortunate in a sense. Then it's up to lbDutchboy to deal with it, and I don't see anything in his hand which will make it possible to do so. Naga Corsair gets cleared, which means the South Sea Captain can't do much.
I think you have to go wide on board, like as wide as possible. Just shadow step for a second time and get as many minions as possible to maybe finish the game next turn if you draw a boar or something else, because you know you're dead in 2 turns anyway.
Swiftly.
Yeah, he's considering his options. What should I do?
Yep, he agrees on my play. Feels good, man.
Of course. How could you disagree? The legend himself, and another shadow step comes
if he is in time, though, I already see the rope near the end, and it banked. Did he get the other card? Oh, he didn't get it. That's so important. And he's dead either way, so it doesn't matter. But still, he could have won if he didn't make this mistake. He loses, but he could have won. And now there was no way for him to win.
Yeah, and there is the 2-1 lbDutchboy clawing his way back into this matchup.
Yes.
And his Warriors now is out of the equation. Druid and Rogue left.
As I said before, it was a very favored matchup for the Rogue. I'd say like 65% maybe, which is very high. And then now we have the Rogue versus Druid, which is slightly less favored for the Druid. I'd even say it's not favored until I see that lbDutchboy is actually playing aggro Druid and not Jade Druid. So now, yeah, it looks pretty good. Oh, of course, Arne was also playing aggro Druid, right?
Yes,
he picked up the swipe versus Denner. So yeah, it was definitely aggro Druid.
But he still lost that fight 3-1. It was our first match of the evening, after which Mate took out his teammate Nara 3-1. And we could actually see a third 3-1 as well, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, lbDutchboy, but lbDutchboy is favored in this matchup, definitely. This is a good play by Vortex. He's like, okay, I already have all my win conditions in hand, like I have enough flame units, so I can just play this first, get on board, contest the board, and then I'll play my quest later.
And so he's throwing something out, hoping that lbDutchboy can't instantly deal with it. Throws out an Enchanted Raven, 2-2 on the board, Mimic Pot in hand of Vortex now. Something he can't use.
I guess, yeah, you just clear it, Hero Power. You have to clear it because you're afraid of the mark of Yasharaj making it a 4-4. But here we'll probably see the... oh, this is a great pickup. You will see the Dread Corsair, Firefly, and then Coin Mark of the Lotus.
Oh,
And then there's like 2/2/3s and the 2/2 on board. Well, you also destroy the weapon of Vortex. And so even though Vortex will have the quest done by turn 5 or 6, it's probably too slow.
so the aggro deck strikes again, maybe, for another time this evening.
Yeah, maybe. It's not over yet, because Vortex's hand is really good as well, and I'm not entirely sure. Like, if he picks up the preparation, then Vortex has a very good chance to win this, because then he can just prep quest on turn like turn 5.
Time will tell, and lbDutchboy seems to do exactly what you told him to.
Time waits for no one.
And
Of course, I play too much aggro.
and of course, also the patch is getting buffed up, which is a welcome present. And lbDutchboy is smart enough to not forget to attack with it.
Yep, here comes the Igneous Elemental, getting 2 more Flame Elementals, while lbDutchboy just buffs his board up more. Wow, that's
Innervate
amazing.
into Power of the Wild,
Yeah,
just
definitely.
to make it huge.
And here, I don't see Vortex coming back from this. It's just too quick for him. Ah, that's such a shame, though, because of the hand of Vortex has so much potential in an unfavored matchup.
Yeah,
However,
but
yeah, this is what happens if you draw correctly with Druid.
it's when you go smorg properly. And if indeed lbDutchboy wins this, we'll see a Rogue Mirror as the last game of this series.
In my opinion, lbDutchboy didn't have to clear here, by the way. Like, he could have just gone face. What's his opponent gonna do with an Igneous Elemental?
Nothing.
Exactly.
And now actually Vortex can play towards his quest. Get it for the next turn, but as you said, it will most likely be too late. As lbDutchboy has quite a hefty board right now with all the buffs. And there comes the 4 Flame Elemental, meaning his quest will go swoosh.
Squish indeed. We also see that there's oh yeah, he can eat his own pirate. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to do that. But that's Wind Fury. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and
what else does he get? Stealth? Oh, another Wind Fury. That's not that good. I guess he's just going for the Death Rattle.
indeed he does. And if he decides to go face with all of his other minions,
He
he's
should
close
clear
to
her.
lethal. But of course, the quest is in the hand of Vortex. He knows that, and that would have meant that there would be 3 5/5s on the board. Oh, but would you throw in one of your pirates, then eat it with your crawler?
I guess so.
Because then you would actually have
Nope.
a stronger minion after. But he decides not to. Keeps the 3/1 alive.
Doesn't
Part
really
of
matter
it
if
is,
you have a 3/1 or a 3/4. Like, you're not going to lose it anyway.
hopefully, and there comes actually the Mimic Pod, just to see if there's anything that can help.
Nope.
But nothing can, which means there's a 2/2. Something uncommon we've seen after 2-3-1 series so far.
But 2
that-
quick games nonetheless.
Yeah, indeed. We have a more aggressive meta this week than the last one, which is weird to say with a game like Hearthstone. As after an expansion finally settles down, you do have quite stable decks being played around.
That's not really true, because if people play one thing a lot, like Control, then there will be a counter reaction to that. And then that gets popular, and there will be a counter reaction again. And the important thing is to be ahead of the meta. So, as we saw last round, Shusi and Nara actually were most ahead of the meta. Shusi was expecting Control and was like, okay, I'll play greedier Control and I'll win easily. So that's what he did. And this time, people go aggro again, because they're like, okay, aggro probably beats the Control decks, or at least beats the Rogue, and they all brought Rogue. So if I don't ban it, I'll just 3-0 with aggro. Which is the plan. So I'm really curious, actually, to what Shusi is bringing this time. I guess he's like, well, I won't die to aggro.
there we see a very exciting start. 2 quests being thrown out. And somewhat similar hands as well.
Somewhat similar, but very much better for lbDutchboy, in my opinion.
Yeah, he has 2 bounces already. So yeah, what would you play if you were Vortex? Would you play the Firefly, or would you maybe play the Burglar? Or just go for the draw?
I think you go for the draw here. Maybe Shadow Step it as well. Because you need more options.
But Vortex does possibly not agree with you, and indeed he doesn't. Firefly being thrown out, just wants to equalize the board. Anything you can do, I can do similar. Oh, and there's the third
Bounce.
So
Seems
next turn he can have his quest ready if he decides to go for it.
I don't like to play Ignis Elemental here because, as I said before, it's kind of hard to get it killed. So I like the Brewmaster more here. You can just trade, double trade in one of the minions there, and then Brewmaster, play another Firefly, and then Shadow Step it. And then next turn you can play it for free, play the Gadget Sun, Ferryman, and then I'd like that more than this play.
Oh, double vanish now in the hands of Vortex.
Not very good.
Not very good, to the point of not what I want, what I really, really don't want. But in return,
Tell
he does
me what you want.
In return, he still doesn't have the bounces that lbDutchboy has. So
I'm kind of surprised to see the Swashbuckler in the deck of Vortex. Most people have replaced it with other minions, like we've seen the Doomsayer or the Glacial Elemental, like the Frosty one. Because the cards you get from the Swashbuckler are usually too high mana to be used in this game. You don't really want to play him anyway. And here now we see the problem that I was expecting. However, with 3 bounces in hand, it doesn't really matter. You can just bounce the Stone Tusk Boar for a bit.
yeah. So there's still possibilities.
I really don't like the play of last turn for lbDutchboy.
No, we should just weapon up and straight into the 1 war. Just take some damage on your elemental, just to hopefully get those fire elementals yourself, or flame elementals. Like, he's also thinking, like, what should I do? There's so many possibilities, but none of them is really that appealing.
And that's why this deck is hard to play. What I'd like to see here is probably Stone Tusk Boar into the Gadget Sun Ferryman, into Stone Tusk Boar, into Shadow Step.
Swiftly.
Just start it and hope you get some card draw next turn. Is he going to play a naked Gadget Sun Ferryman just to put pressure on the board? It kind of feels like
A waste.
well, like lbDutchboy has no experience playing this deck, to be honest.
Whoa.
Because he has I know he has prepared a lot for his exams and doesn't. He's also rank 8, so he hasn't had a lot of time to play with the new expansion. So I really think it's the case of just copying Arne's classes and decks.
Second Swashbuckler being picked up and still lacking a bounce. He could, of course, use it to get another Shadow Step, but I don't think you can really bank on that one.
I think you can play Swashbuckler here, and then Shadow Step it.
Oh.
And then next turn, Coin Vanish. Like play it, Coin Vanish, then you have enough of them.
But will he see that possibility as well? He does decide to go for the Swashbuckler. Gets a Gadgeton Ferryman,
Yep.
which he can't use, but he did get it.
So the painful thing here is the 2/2 Ignis Elemental is going to get vanished next turn.
Oh, yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah, because then lbDutchboy can get the quest out of it, right? Yeah.
No, he can't because the Ignis Elemental won't die.
No, but then you can throw it up 4 times because you have Shadow Step and a Brewmaster.
Right. Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
You
actually,
can play the Ignis
2
Elemental
vanishes
4
in
times,
both
but-
players' hand. What the hell?
Oh, the second Shadow Step, that's even better than Vanish.
Yeah,
So now
because
you play the Swashbuckler. You also have to get to Ferryman. But you Shadow Step it, you play it again, and then you play your quest, I guess, together with the South Sea deckhand. Let's go. Yeah, that's his play.
yeah, just to get those 5/5s going ham. Unfortunately for him, his patches has already, not finished, but perished.
Paris,
the word.
that's a good word.
Yeah, I was thinking, finish. Oh wait, they both have 2 finishes in their hand, so that's probably not the right term. And there we see a 5/5 charge coming out of Vortex. The round before lbDutchboy can get his quest when he actually kills the igneous elemental.
Yeah, I like it because now there's not a he will get to kill it anyway.
Shadow Step.
Oh, that's not. That is good enough.
Yes,
actually.
that is quest because he's already used one flame elemental, right? lbDutchboy.
Yup, from the Firefly.
Yeah, so he can
However,
actually
he
quest
can't play
himself.
this. Yeah, he can't play the Stone to Score with it, unfortunately for him.
Indeed, he can't. But it is again something. Now he is somewhat back into this game. He can use his Stone Tusk Boar next turn in combination with a youthful Brewmaster, so he can actually deal some face damage after. But will he decide to press that quest? I think you have to, because otherwise you're such delayed in getting your pace going.
Yeah, you would be so far behind. lbDutchboy could have had the quest already, I think. However, this is the time to get it. Like, just play your Flame Elemental, Shadow Step it, play it again, and then you are on... Oh wait, no, you're only on 3 then, right? Oh, you have 2 Shadow Steps, of course. He decides he decides to delay another turn, which means he can't deal with a 5/5, which means that it can be bounced this turn, and it probably will. So slowly played by lbDutchboy. And I think Vortex is like, what the heck is in your hand if you play like this?
I hope lbDutchboy is quicker doing his exams, otherwise he might run out of time. As I have read that the Dutch exam was rather lengthy.
Oh, this is a great draw, by the way, by Vortex. He can just play the Balefin Tidehunter, bounce it, play it again, and you have 2, 3, 5/5 taunts, which are kind of hard to deal with for lbDutchboy.
Would you then force Vanish from lbDutchboy instead of his quest? Or
maybe yes.
Because then you have an overdrawn Vortex, and
I like that. I kind of like that.
It's like, in my opinion, the only way to deal with it. The problem for lbDutchboy is though that again, his quest will be delayed, unless if he picks. Oh no, it still has no enough if he picks up a prep. But let's see which cards will vanish. It will be the combo dude, right? Or is it randomized from whatever gets vanished?
No, it's the first cards first. So the newer cards won't be put back in the hand. However, there's 5 cards in hand and 6 minions on board. So Vanish kind of clears it. It's so unfortunate that he can't play Doomsayer together with the Vanish.
Well, yeah, just 1 mana off. Unfortunately for him, that is going to hold him back.
Oh, and it's also almost lethal. In case you didn't notice. Like you can put out 15 damage this turn to the face.
Those oozes, by the way, are also 1 mana. So 1 mana, 5/5 taunts. When he gets them back in his hand, I'm curious what he will lose if lbDutchboy, of course, decides to go for the Vanish. But I don't really see any way for him to get it back into this game, as he has delayed his quest for so long.
Yeah, and even if you get the 1/1/5/5, the 1 mana 5/5 taunts back in your hand, you just play them again. They're still taunts. So
it's not really something better that you
So I guess next turn you play another Vanish with the Doomsayer this time.
But that still will get cleared because you have 1 charge from Vortex. Maybe you'll get a Stone Tusk or something. Mimic Pot getting destroyed. Not too sad about that, probably. He will just throw up a lot of 5/5s again. And lbDutchboy has almost no way to deal with him.
I kind of like this play actually by lbDutchboy. There's still hope for him because he has another vanish.
Oh, actually, the ooze buffing comes back again.
Oh, this is so silly because his hand is so full.
Yeah, but he just wants to build so much pressure. But it's quite sad for him that some cards will be destroyed.
Okay, so there's 7 cards in hand for Vortex, which means 3 will get killed, or 2 will get killed. And in this case, those will be
2 oozes.
Yeah, 2 oozes. You're right. At
I
least
just wanted to
theoretically.
I want to say it faster, so actually it looks smarter. But
You're so smart. I never doubted you.
some people did. And there comes the second finish, which means lbDutchboy is now.
Oh, no Doomsayer. What is this?
What?
No, you have to play the Doomsayer here. Oh, why are you like this?
The way you say it. And,
I'm just so disappointed. Like, you know what's going to come out here, and you know he only has one South Sea, or at least you know he has one South Sea deckhand in his hand, so there's a chance that he won't be able to deal with the Doomsayer, which we know he wasn't.
yep.
And I think that was your only out, so that you can get board control there. You can bounce the Stone Disc War like 1, 2, 3 times, which is lethal.
Wow. MJ, can I say it? Can I say the word
What, that he missed lethal?
misplay?
Maybe it's still lethal. Nope, it's not. And I wouldn't have mattered anyway. Like, he could have cleared it by just bouncing the South Sea deckhand, as he is doing now.
And there we go. Vortex having 4 means on board, and lbDutchboy really now 0 ways to deal with it, and I think he knows it himself as well.
Yeah, the problem here is, of course, that you have to sacrifice your Stone Disc board, so you have nothing to bounce anymore. Yeah, this is definitely
5/5 Doomsayer, let's go.
That's not gonna do it.
And a prep which won't do anything.
Is that lethal? Yeah, that's lethal. The prep is lethal. Well, not really. Like, you could have just
finish,
without the prep, it would have been fine as well, I guess.
And there we see actually Vortex taking this series with a 3-2 scoreline, which is quite different from what we had before. And we're slightly ahead of schedule. This guy's brought it a bit back into.
It's getting kind of dark in here.
Yeah, we both have to turn on the light.
Well, in the short break following this match, of course, the last match of today that we will have is Shusi versus Bubblebox, 2 teammates as well. And I'm very curious to what they will bring to the table this time.
Yeah, and we will see them very soon, as we will come back with that last match. So don't go anywhere.
See you soon.